Get your chance to be heard, pass by, spare not. Let me hear you loud, proud, shout it out real loud. Everybody wake up, shout it out real loud. Everybody wake up, wake up. No time for sleeping on the issues. This is Neutral Voices, we gon' deal with the issues.
Welcome to Neutral Voices. I'm Dr. V, and this is In Depth, where we dig deep in the hearts of our community leaders. And this evening, we have special guests with us. And I know y'all don't mind if I go deep. Yes? Yes, I have with us some members, some proud members of the Voices of Unity, UPATH, if you will. And what does UPATH stand for our community?
Unity Performing Arts Foundation.
Yes. And a lot of people just know Voices of Unity.
Yes,
or
ma'am.
just Unity.
Unity.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is going to be interesting. You do not want to miss this interview. So hang out with us as we travel to New Zealand.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Are you guys excited?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous, Miss V.
I'm nervous. That's a long flight.
It is. It is. It's the same as China, though.
That should
Don't
make it. That
remind me.
sounds a lot better.
Right.
For a Unity member, it's nothing. Oh, New Zealand? It's just like China. No big deal.
We have already taken,
Yes.
it's literally, actually, it's less travel. So we will not have to take a bus when we
Oh,
get to New
okay.
Zealand. We're already there. With China, with China, we got to
Yes.
Shanghai and had to take, what was it, about a
Ooh,
4 or 5 hour?
Don't
And that was off the plane.
That
Don't
was-
relive that time. So listen, before we get into our amazing conversation, I would like for you guys to introduce yourselves.
I would
Please.
love
Let's
to.
start with you, Alivia.
Well, hello, Miss V. My name is Alivia Croxton for everyone watching. I am the Student Care Coordinator of Unity Performing Arts Foundation, but most importantly, I am alumni of the organization. I sang with the organization for 8 years.
Yes, my name is Justin Sheehan. I am the marketing director for Unity Performing Arts Foundation. I've been involved with the choir in the organization since 2013. And it was one of my first professional engagements, first clients, and it was when we went to Riga. That's where I met Olivia.
Yes.
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 You guys go all
Riga,
kinds of
amazing.
on all kinds of.
Oh,
trips.
we'll go on a world tour.
excursions.
Yes, we'll
Yes,
tell you.
Well, welcome, welcome. Happy to have you.
Hi, Miss Jill.
Yes. Well, I'm excited just about because it's coming up, but I'm excited because this is I'll say a brand new choir.
Yes, ma'am.
Fresh, so fresh, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Very young.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is going to be a first, right? But we want to talk about how did it get so young? So let's go before COVID. So if we can,
Yes, ma'am.
pre-COVID and the effects of COVID and then where we are right now.
Okay, so pre-COVID, I was not employed at Unity, but I was still alumni. From what I have looked at in our system, pre-COVID, we had a lot of older members. We had about 2 years till graduation from high school, but they were involved with the choir. So around 2020, when COVID hit, we lost about 57 members due to graduation and COVID mixed together. That's how much of an impact it had because we had to shut down for this is our first concert in 4 years, but they were not singing. So members were just kind of dropping. And it's not that they weren't interested. They were growing up and they were getting ready for college and they had all these things coming up. So they weren't able to participate. So now that we have kind of gone in this new swing of things, my main job was visiting middle schools and attending events like that. So our age ratio has kind of dropped down to the 11, 12-year-old range. And we even have 6-year-olds, but that is our largest portion of the choir is around 11 to 12 years old.
This is going to be amazing to witness.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I heard through the grapevine that they came in like really like new and fresh with
They were green.
Yeah, very
absolutely.
green.
Absolutely.
And so I would say that Mr. White has had his hands full with the whole training and everything.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was about 42 members in all of our programming. So, of course, we have our world champion choir, but we have creative writing, we have piano classes, and we also offer a dance class. So 42 members total. in all programming. Not everybody that does dance class does the choir. So there was only 42 members. And then at the height of our membership for 23-24, it reached to 72. So not only are all these brand new members who have never sang with Mr. White before, he only has 6 kids out of the choir that have sang with him in a concert before. This is a brand new choir.
Goodness.
Brand new choir.
So I'm excited because, like you said, this is the first concert in
Absolutely.
4 years.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, even people behind the scene, that work with them. I mean, this is going to be the first concert. So, with that, there's a concert coming up. Will these students be performing any of the material that they'll be competing with, or are these?
Yes, ma'am. Yep. They will be
Okay.
performing all of their gospel material. We are going to
Okay.
compete in the gospel competition in New Zealand this year with other songs that we'll be doing with friendship concerts, but they will all be performing. They have worked extremely hard to see the difference from January December when we made the announcement from now. I was scared in March, you guys. I have competed in all 3 World Choir Games that Unity has been a part of.
Yes.
So I know the sound that won us gold medals. So rehearsal after rehearsal, I'm having faith. I'm like, I know Mr. White can do it, but I was genuinely nervous because they were so young. We had a lot of older members. It was getting a little scary. But when I say these kids are so dedicated, they would watch old performances of the 2010 choir that won, and they would say, I want to be like that. And they worked so hard. These kids have been for 2 weeks in all-day rehearsals from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m., practicing all day for this concert on Saturday. And they're ready. They're ready.
I love to hear that.
They're ready.
I've asked that question before of Mr. White, and he just, kind of was like, they'll be ready.
And that he'll tell you. Mr. White is out of town, and so I had the opportunity to be with them on Monday and Tuesday, and I had to go through all the songs with them, and they sang a song that we used to sing when we were younger, and I got goosebumps for the first time hearing them sing, and it brought tears to my eyes because I'm so proud of them. They sound really good too. I promise I would. We ain't gonna lie.
And you know what? So I have to say, I couldn't hear clear, but when I popped out there, I don't know which song caused all the emotions and the tears and the hugging. What song was that inspired that, or was it something else going on that triggered?
It was Lean on Me, a song that everybody we sing it, but
Yes.
Mr. White, he has such a unique way of pulling on the heartstrings of children. Sometimes it's really hard to get children to connect emotionally with music. Sometimes they're just there to feel the rhythm, the beats. They know they can sing, but getting a child to connect with music is like connecting with the divine. And so when they were singing the lyrics of Lean on Me, we all need somebody to lean on.
Yes.
And Mr. White,
Yes.
so he starts asking the children, do you feel like this environment allows you to lean on your brother and your sister or your mentor or me?
Yes.
And they all said yes. And they were able to have a special moment
Yes, they did.
over a song.
Yes,
that
they
so
did.
many of us just cruise to. We moved to the next song. And no, they were able to understand the words, understand the unity that they have created over the boot camp that they were all practicing for weeks. And it was beautiful.
It was
Because
beautiful.
we've had those moments. And you've
Yes.
seen,
Oh,
when
I've
I was a
seen it.
child, we had multiple moments where we would be singing a song and we realized how blessed we were
Man.
to just be in the room.
I
And
think that happened at the Vatican.
it happened in China basement of some place we was rehearsing in. It happened in Riga's hotel when we were
Yes.
waiting for breakfast.
Yes,
it happened
it
in
did.
Cincinnati with the Chinese
know.
choir. There's so many. God has allowed us to have so many moments where we can just bask in gratefulness
Yes.
of where we are at. And I have prayed for those kids to have that moment because I remember that is what kept me when I was 10 years old competing, when I was
Yes.
12 years old
Right.
competing. That humbleness and that gratitude
Yeah.
that you are where you are at, but it's not because of you, it's because of who created you.
Right.
That's right.
And it's so when children are able to connect to that, it's so cool being able to see it as an adult
is.
now, because not only did I experience it, but I know what they are experiencing
Yeah.
at 25 years old.
Wow.
So.
Can we talk a little bit about, since you said you were alumni, and Can we talk a little about the preparation that goes into this? Because we all know, like you said, you're so proud of them, you're seeing them. So, because you saw the growth, you saw what it was like when everybody first came together, and then you saw it now with the goosebump moment. So, is there a lot of preparation that goes into something like this prior to New Zealand, prior to China? Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Great question, because I think a lot of people just see the performance,
Yes.
the gold medal, and they don't realize that Mr. White has a standard, and our standard is excellence and nothing less. He's not going to send any child across seas
Right.
to compete just because they can sing.
Of course.
No, these children have to raise money. So they are fundraising. They have to rehearse. Their rehearsals are anywhere between 4 to 5 hours long, 2 to 3 to 4 times a week. They started with 2 times a week. They moved to 3 times a week, 4 and 5 times a week. They have to do memorization. They have to memorize all of the foundational statements of Unity Performing Arts Foundation. The mission statement, the focus, our core values, our standard, our pledge, our motto. They have to memorize that entire page or they're not able to compete. And then they also have to memorize songs in their notes.
Yes,
The important part.
Right.
I was going to say, and sometimes in a different language.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes.
multiple.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you have been in the choir for over a year after you've learned the first page in English, Mr. White then requires you to learn it in Spanish. Of
course.
So that way, if we are any time in an area where maybe they do not speak English, he wants us to be able to at least say it in another language. So.
Ooh, can you give us an example of the mission
Miss
statement
V.
in Spanish?
Of course I can.
Okay.
Unir y capacitar a nuestros miembros con excelencia artística, promoviendo entrenamiento, disciplina, profesionalismo y equipo de trabajo en un ambiente positivo que le permite a cada persona la oportunidad de crecer y expresar sus habilidades artísticas naturales mientras siguen y cumplen sus sueños.
Woo! Yes, honey.
Yes.
And now in English.
Unite and empower our members with artistic excellence by promoting training, discipline, professionalism, and teamwork in a positive environment that allows every person the opportunity to grow and express their natural artistic abilities as they follow and fulfill their dreams.
Amazing. And you know that's one thing he will call you out on.
Absolutely.
That would be the one reason why I could not join.
Don't say that, Miss V. It actually, because the cool
embedded.
part about it, it's embedded.
Yeah.
And when I came back to be on staff and to mentor these children, I didn't have to relearn it. I knew everything from when I was a child. It sticks with you for the rest of your life. I remember that used to be a cool fun fact that I used to do like in high school. Like I can say a full paragraph in Spanish. I can't speak Spanish, but I can say about a full page of it. Just it makes you proud. You are proud to be able to do that. When children see a challenge, us as adults, we like, no, I'm good. We're not, it's fine. I like where I'm at. I'm 25. I'm cool. But children, that's an opportunity to grow. And if they are surrounded by people that accept challenges, they want to do it as well. If they see 20 kids performing a mission statement, they're coming back to the rehearsal next time and making sure that they know that mission statement. Because it's not a I'm better than you type of mentality. It's we want you to be like this too. How can we help? Because that was my thing going in. I remember I had all these new kids. I'm like, how am I going to get all these new babies to learn all of this memorization? I was actually a little nervous. Miss V, I just did the memorization test. Every single one of them children passed their memorization test.
Even the
They're good.
6-year-old.
Wow.
Both 6-year-olds. Judah
that's
was one of the first ones to know the mission statement, and Mr. White put him on the
Press conference in front of
She's
big
one of the
actors.
6-year-olds.
Yeah, he's 6 years old, and he was Judah has a lot of fun facts. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about Judah. Judah was our 1,000th member ever over the 24 years that Unity has been around. He's also Jordan Applegate's son.
Oh,
So, and Jordan
nice.
Applegate is not only alumni, been on all of our tours, he's on our board, he's a parent, he's phenomenal.
He's all in.
Yes.
He's one of those that is all in. When I look at the system, he has every tab possible that you can
That's
have
right.
connected to
That's
your
right.
name, which is really cool. And he's 6 years old, and he saw his dad in this amazing organization, and he said, "Oh, I'm not missing a beat." Judah will be on that competition team. I know he will. He is so focused
That
at
is so
6 years
good.
old. At 6,
That's incredible.
yeah.
So talk to us about, okay, so we're headed to New Zealand. who's on the plane? Because I know it was a lot of us before. I mean, I remember when we were walking through the airport, people were like, who are all these people in these jogging
in these tracksuits.
tracksuits?
Tracksuits
Yeah.
will be back
Looking
too. We
amazing.
will be back with the tracksuits.
We're all matching
Again.
through the airport.
Every day.
You're not gonna miss us.
You will not.
Oh no. Every day. I forgot.
Remember the
Yes, I do. Color-coded
Miss
t-shirt.
V, don't forget it's Purple Day. You know.
How many are you talking that would be walking
Right.
through? How many jumpsuits?
So we have about 68 going this time. This is one of our smaller tours. We have 68 total. We have 27 children that are going to sing. We have 34 adults, and then we have 7 alumni, including myself, that are coming back to travel with the kids, to compete, to be chaperones,
Okay.
and be hands-on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yes.
Every time we talk about it, I get nervous. Okay. So real quick, let's shift to Justin for a moment. Justin, talk to us about your role and what is all of this marketing looking like for this tour?
Yeah. So I'll say this is one of the easiest jobs in the world to market because, as Mr. White has talked about, there's substance at Unity.
Absolutely.
What Alivia just said, and I could spend the rest of this show just listening to Alivia. That's for her, it rolls off the tongue like it's nothing. But I'm hearing this. I'm like, that is unheard of in 2024. Kids memorizing.
It is.
Kids desiring challenge. Kids looking for accountability. Parents committing their kids to 10 plus hours a day as young as 6. That is unheard of. And for people in the Unity ecosystem, it's normal. This is just normal.
Yes.
We've heard stories of alumni going to military boot camp, Marine boot camp.
Yeah.
They call, this is relatively easy because they've been through, and not that Unity is a boot camp, but they're in this fostering environment where it's all love, but it's also, love is also truth and accountability.
Yes, that's right.
Absolutely.
And then these things are embedded in you.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this story so beautiful. And so my role is marketing. All I have to do is tell and showcase people like Alivia, people like Jordan Applegate, people like Jordan Bridges. There's so many alumni, and there's so many. What I love about this version of the choir, if we look at the history, and I'll give a quick history lesson because I think it'd be good for people to know. We're going to the World Choir Games this year in New Zealand. So everyone's talking about the Olympics, right? The Summer Olympics in Paris. It's exciting. It's awesome. Well, the World Choir Games are the Olympics for choirs.
For singing, yes.
And Unity is a youth choir. This Olympics are not just for youth choirs. We're competing against adults. And so we've won 5 gold medals
Yes, sir.
and 1 silver, so 6 total medals against other adult choirs from all over the world. So we have as young as 6 years old competing against people that are seasoned.
Right.
2010 was China, and that was an incredible
Yeah, we won grand champion.
We're on grand champion, which means first place. And there's a video, we should share it later, of when we're singing the national anthem and everyone's in tears.
Oh,
And
it was crazy.
incredible.
Yeah.
2012 was in our backyard. It was in Cincinnati,
Yes.
of all places.
Of all
But we
places.
sang with
US.
Kirk Franklin. We recorded with him. We were on
Good
stage.
Morning America.
Good Morning
We were
America.
busy for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is a choir from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Just remember that. 2014, we sang at Carnegie Hall in New York City.
Yes.
And then we also won gold in Riga, Latvia for the World Choir Games. And that was my first tour. Those trips were my first experience with the choir. And again, there's a magical moment. There's all these incredible moments. 2016, we said, you know what? We've won 3 golds in a row. Let's take this tour all over Europe. So what were the countries we visited in
Oh, my God.
2016?
So Miss Alivia was gone this year, but from what I know, we went to the Vatican,
Yep.
We were in
Italy, Rome, Venice. Is
Yep.
it 4 of them?
Vienna.
Yep.
Austria. So
I was gonna say
It was a lot.
there were so
It's
many.
not-
There was
yeah.
5 countries total,
Yes.
and we were the first youth choir, a soulful youth choir, to sing at the Vatican in history. Again, history.
Shattered
And-
the ceilings.
From Fort Wayne.
Shout out to the ceilings.
Shattered the ceilings.
Shattered the ceilings.
Literally, like whatever the veil was, they broke through it.
They broke through.
It was crazy.
Right. I haven't even mentioned singing when the new Colts Stadium opened, Lucas Oil Stadium, on national television, singing with was Alicia,
Keisha Cole.
Keisha Cole,
Yes.
singing at the State House. So these are all givens, but I like saying those things because I don't think many in Fort Wayne or Indiana even realize the gem that we have.
Yes.
Right. This is the LeBron James of youth
Seriously,
choirs.
that's right.
Representing not just Fort Wayne, Indiana, but the United States at the Olympics coming up. And so, again, marketing is easy because we have stories like that and we have a message like that. And this version of the choir, I really love this version because we had a golden generation. You hear this a lot in soccer or in certain sports where you have a senior class. For 10 years, we had a golden generation where we won choir game after choir game after choir game. We did a European tour. Our last concert was 2020. Then that combination of graduates, right, leaving and COVID, we're starting from scratch. We're this almost a legacy organization. We're a team we're the New York Yankees, and we're starting with minor leaguers in a way. And these minor leaguers, right before our eyes, are turning into major leaguers.
Absolutely.
And I think that transformation, we were a super team, and now we're turning into a super team, and that's what I love. And so, I'll talk about marketing, but that's what marketing is to me. It's telling that story, and we're going on this tour. We're calling it the Rise Up Tour, July 13th through the 21st. And we're calling it Rise Up because it's not rising from the ashes, because we weren't. We were this golden generation. It's actually rising the next generation.
Yes.
Because we're growing that next golden
Mm-hmm.
generation. And we're rising up to compete.
Yes.
There are many naysayers saying, well, you're not ready. The choir's not ready. We said, well, the World Choir Games is only every, 3 years?
2 years.
Every 2 years.
It's every 2 years.
So it's time to go now, and let's get these kids experience, and let's go after gold. The standard hasn't changed, right? The standard isn't we're happy to be there.
Yeah, absolutely not.
The standard is going for gold. And so we're doing that, and I'll plug the concert. We can talk, maybe touch on that a little bit. We have the Rise Up concert coming up this Saturday, actually, June 22nd at Purdue Fort Wayne Music Center. And if you're watching this, that's one of the easiest ways. So I shared all these stories, the tours, we're going on this. The easiest ways to see the choir live in action.
Yes.
It's not only fun, not only entertaining, but you'll see the magic that we've been sharing tonight. And it's affordable, bring the whole family. Rise Up concert, June 22nd. So that's my marketing push. I want to give the mic back to Olivia.
I have a question before we go any further. Can we talk a little bit about the diversity of the choir
Absolutely.
now, and has the diversity changed since it first started? If we can talk a little about that.
Well, I think there's always been a stigma on the Voices of Unity that it is a Black choir. Maybe because it's directed by an amazing Black man. And that's unfortunate because it's never just been a Black choir.
Gotcha.
My white grandparents took me to my first concert. They're the ones that introduced me to the Voices of Unity Youth Choir. As of right now, we have about 39% Caucasian, about 49% African American, and then we have some Hispanics that are involved. We have an African that are involved. It's never been just Black.
I see.
It's never been just Black. And it's actually surprising because this is the highest our Caucasian rate has been. And that's because we've been going into the schools. That was my main role, to go into these schools and show Black Hawk Middle School, Lane Middle School, this amazing choir, because they would have never heard about it before.
Right.
It's not their normal. They don't see our marketing in their backyard. So we have to go to them. And they were ready. Those kids were ready.
When you go into the schools per se, what are you are you just kind of talking to them about the program? How many of the members, I'll call, came from school visits, let's say?
So we actually had over 20 of our members now came from schools from
those,
this season.
gotcha.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And when I go into the schools, I go to choir classes or band classes just because I am mainly talking about choir. So we want to make sure that they have some type of want for it, because it's a dedication. You have to be committed. It's a commitment. It's not, just one thing once a month. We want them to be committed. This
isn't a volunteer charity.
We want them to want to sing. We want them to want to dance or want to write or want to play piano, those type of things.
Yeah, I was going to say, so if you had to say to a parent that have children and they're thinking about, maybe I should get my kids involved in this, what would you say the top 3 things this child has to have? What?
Well, I would just say
They don't have to know how to sing.
They
I will
wouldn't
say
have
that.
to have any like abilities when it
talent.
comes to the arts. Just curiosity or
Okay.
the want to do it.
Okay.
Do they have the drive to want to learn something new? And then once the kids get into the environment, because I've seen it now, I've lived it, and then I've seen it now as an adult. Completely different kids. I had this one kid. Her name is Mackenzie. She's my sweetheart. And when she wouldn't speak to me when I first met her. I met her at our kickoff. Her dad was involved with Mr. White. She would not speak. Now she is so vocal. She's so outgoing. She's no longer has that shy mentality. She's texting me, telling me she raised $500 today. Talking
proud.
about she's proud.
Yeah.
They're complete. It changes as long as they get into the environment. So I would, if there's a parent that is searching for a place that will love and support their children at the standard of excellence and nothing less, and push them into rooms that will make them be successful, bring your kids to Unity. I don't need any specific things about the children. Bring them as they are.
Right.
That's
Because
awesome.
the environment itself is going to shape and develop them into high character leaders. I don't need the kids to do anything, but the parents, if you're looking for something different, because they always want to put them in sports. They always want to throw them to the Y. They always want to throw them to the Boys and Girls Club. No shade. Love you guys. But being honest, if you want an area that is going to push your kids, not just from one grade to the next, push them all the way through high school, and be a loving and nurturing environment. Put them in Unity.
Yeah.
And teach them discipline. That's one.
Teach them
I put that out there.
So performing arts is a vehicle, and there are a lot of vehicles like sports, like different clubs, and for Unity, it's the performing arts, but it's a vehicle for the substance, which is the character development, the discipline. And even in this day and age in society in 2024, I think all us parents want that for our kids. And I think we're asking, how do we do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do we do that? How do we do that without getting judged? How do we do that that's
Absolutely.
effective? And so I've seen, not to stereotype, big, burly football players
Absolutely.
become still tough and burly, but they're gentle singers. They're gentle giants because they have that discipline and that character. And performing arts, it's just a vehicle for that.
And performing arts can get you ready for so many different areas of life. I didn't realize how confident I would be in different rooms just from the training that I received
Right.
from Unity. It's not just about on stage.
That's right.
What you learn on stage, you will perform in your real life. When you go into a job interview, when you go into a room, an event or a convention.
Or an interview
it's
like
not-
this.
Absolutely.
You're so strong.
And I had no idea that singing training or stage training would then go into my real life and prepare me to be an adult that is confident, that isn't scared of her voice at all. And that all came from Unity.
I'm going to
good.
completely agree with that because as you were speaking, I work with a lot of people in the workforce. So I do a lot of hiring, discipline, firing, all of that. So a lot of things that I see in people who are, 18 to, I want to say 18 and up anymore, who have the lack of drive, the lack of commitment, the lack of respect for an authoritative figure. So as you're saying all of those things earlier, I wrote down, team building, commitment, drive, dedication, discipline, respecting authority, all of that stuff. And I was thinking, I would have never attributed this to all of these things. So talk about just life skills.
Absolutely.
Big time. That's like you said, you're carrying through, and they will continue to carry through in every single step of their life.
Absolutely.
That's good. Okay, so you touched on this concert. So the future of, because I know you said there's other classes there, because a lot of people just think choir. So what other classes right now, and what things are coming that you
So,
can share with us?
Yes, we offer dance, piano, and creative writing classes. They are all on different days. So if your child wants to participate in all 4 of our programming, they are able to. And then hopefully this fall, we will launch our public speaking class, which I'm super excited about.
Oh, I'm sure. Now, so as far as expression, when we hear that, but then when we see that, they learn like to do monologues and all these different things because I've seen them in action.
Yes.
I mean, and they are powerful.
Yes.
So is that something that's still going on, or is that?
Yes, we will have a monologue, Joey. We'll be doing the monologue at our concert this Saturday. And I was the monologue baby when I was in the choir. So I'm super excited. And those are great. I'm so grateful that he still does that, because that will definitely build your confidence up. Speaking to 1,000 people will do it.
Oh, absolutely.
It'll do it.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. So we have a question from the audience.
Question is, man, what requirements do you have for the parents, and how supportive are the parents for the kids that are in the program?
That's a great question. We want all of our parents to volunteer and be involved as much as they can. We have mailing opportunities. Sometimes we need help with mailing, uniforms, setting up for rehearsals, just volunteering to be at the door to make sure the kids go out. But required is just taking your kids to practice and picking them up. And we offer transportation as well, just in case. But the level of commitment is up to you, but you'll want to be involved once you see how much we're pouring into the children. You'll want to be around. We have parents that always say, I like being around because it makes me feel good.
Yes.
It makes me, I love the
Absolutely.
life lessons.
Absolutely. Wow. Awesome. Well, guys, listen, unity is so big. We can obviously have a larger, longer conversation and talk about a lot of other things, but I won't hold you because we got stuff to do. Now, so with the concert Saturday, we want to make sure everybody understand the concert starts at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Let's talk about where can we get tickets?
You can get tickets at riseupunity.com/riseupconcert, or you can purchase them at the door.
Or purchase at the door. Listen, you don't want to miss this concert, especially this first one. 4 years, these babies, I can't wait. I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
Listen, this is In Depth. Thank you so much for hanging with us. And as we always say, when we exit, chill.
Always protect your mind.
Thank you. A podcast by Neutral Voices Media
Count your
Group,
opinions
NV,
important, so you
NJ.
gotta speak out. Don't let your chance to be heard pass by. Spell out, let me hear you loud, proud. Shout it out real loud. Everybody wake up. Shout it out real loud. Everybody wake up. Wake up. No time for sleeping on the issues. This is Neutral Voices. We gon' deal with the issues.